This is the Arana Nation, and this is a very important Arana Nation video. Right now, as I speak, I have Facebook Live streaming. So my Facebook friends are actually seeing this video as well. So if I divert my eyes or divert my face, it's because my phone is actually streaming a Facebook Live video. So Vic Fideli, the Nipissing member for the provincial parliament, has been chosen to be the interim leader for the Ontario PC Party. Now, according to the Progressive Conservative Constitution, a new leader has to be chosen within 18 months of an interim leader being appointed. So there has to be a leadership race in 18 months. Having said that, the Ontario PC Party would be very, very wise not to wait until 18 months is over. They would be very wise to hold a leadership race as soon as possible before this election. That way, the people who are members of the Ontario Progressive Conservative Party can democratically elect a leader of their choice. Now, for those of you who know me well, who are on my Facebook Live Messenger, my Facebook friends will know what I'm talking about. Y'all know that I've talked about people who I think would be good. I'm not going to talk about that right now. I'm not talking about who I think is good, who I think won't be good. I'm just not going to get into that. And I just don't think it's really necessary at this point, because I've come across some news that's very disturbing. And I've actually heard it on the news, but I've also heard it from people within the PC party, that the progressive conservatives might actually wait until after the election before having a leadership race. That's going to piss a lot of people off, myself included. I mean, I have nothing against Vic Fideli. He's a great guy. I haven't met him, but I've heard he's a great guy. But the problem with not having a leadership race before the Ontario election is that the members, the people who are members of the Ontario PC Party, who in my opinion are very divided at this point. This is a very divided party. We need to have an opportunity to let all of our members push the reset button. We can't just have a bunch of establishment MPPs at Queen's Park that say, this is the person we're choosing as interim leader, and he's the one who's going to take on Kathleen Cowperthwaite, Jezebel Wynne, and Andrea Horvath in the next election. That's just not on with me. I don't care who it is. It could be Jesus Christ, whoever they chose. I want to choose. I want to have a vote to choose the next leader. And I think most people in the Ontario PC Party, the grassroots who are not on the inside, would agree with what I'm saying. It would be a very grave mistake for the Ontario PC Party to disrespect their members in such a way that they would not allow a leadership race to take place before the election. Now, some people will say, oh, well, it's going to take too long. You can't organize. I heard some fool, some idiot on CTV. I mean, these Canadian, the media, I don't watch Canadian media, but when I do, I'm reminded why I don't. Because the people on Canadian media are just so are just so damn stupid. They're just stupid. They say, it would take too long. For crying out loud. It doesn't even have to take long. 4 weeks maximum. I mean, it doesn't have to be fancy. In Alberta, when they formed that new party, the United Conservative Party, wasn't it like 7 weeks that the leadership race took place? It's 7 weeks. The election, yes, the election is close, but it's not that close. It's April that the election's taken. We're still freezing our asses off in December. February is not even until next week, I think. So, I mean, we can't allow the media to say that the Ontario PC Party is in such a crisis that they can't even hold an election for the people to choose their own members in time for an election. All the members of the Ontario PC Party would like that, I feel. And the problem is that I also think that would actually help unite this party. Because if everyone in the party said, because look, and I know you all don't want to hear it, but a lot of people didn't like Patrick Brown. Now, I'm not getting into that. It's history. It's done. It's over. Forget about Patrick Brown. It's done. We have to move forward. So why not have all the members come together at a convention? It doesn't even have to be at a convention. It could be an online convention. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. And just say, we want anybody. We could choose whoever. You want Doug Ford? You want Caroline Mulroney? Anyway, you want Lisa Ray, whoever, I don't care who it is. You want whoever you want, let them all choose. But if you go in there and say, we have chosen Vic Fideli, so now he is the one who's going to get Kathleen Wynne, I guarantee you a lot of people are just going to sit their ass at home and say, you know what, I can't be bothered with this circus show. But if the whole party, and this would actually be very beneficial for the party, because if you have a leadership convention and everybody's invigorated and excited to have a convention and vote for a new leader, and the PCs are excited because this whole Patrick Brown incident has really lowered the PC party. Now, some people are jumping up and down. Oh, that Patrick's gone. The Lamalincha's gone. Okay, fine. You all might be happy, but a lot of people are lowered by this. So let people decide. There's nothing wrong with that. Let's all get the opportunity to get a new leader, bring in some more excitement into this party. People who were this close to saying, I ain't voting for the PCs anymore, they get an opportunity to vote for a new leader, and thing is done. And I'm reaching out to, and I have many MPPs and many important people on my Facebook. That's why I put this on Facebook Live, as well as making a video on the Arana Nation. I have many important people on my Facebook page, and I hope they're watching. Because if you are watching, my message to you is, if you are smart, you will hold a leadership election before the Ontario general election. Anything less, you're going to piss off thousands of your members. In fact, you probably piss off all of them. And I guarantee you that will be the biggest, best gift you could give to Andrea Horwath. I ain't even talking about Jezebel. Kathleen Wynne, I ain't even going to talk about. Listen, I saw Kathleen Wynne in some news conference. She's looking all happy. I actually have a chance. My approval rating was at 2%, and now I have a chance. Kathleen Wynne ain't gonna win anything. I mean, Patrick Brown could stick a needle up the spine of a 92-year-old woman. Kathleen Wynne ain't gonna win. This is between the PCs and the NDP socialists. And I have a message for the people of Ontario who are thinking of going NDP. You think Jezebel is bad. You think Kathleen Wynne is bad. You think Kathleen Wynne is bad. Just you wait until Andrea Horwath gets her hands on the premier seat. Just you wait. Most people my age were still in their mother's stomach when a man named Bob Rae was Premier of Ontario, the first and so far last Premier of Ontario. And before Kathleen Wynne, he was the most detested Premier in Ontario history. And he effed up this province so bad. You had photo radar, the economy was bad, manufacturing was bad, taxes were high. I mean, it was just, Ontario, it was just like how it is now. In fact, it was probably worse. It was actually probably worse. But That's what you get with NDP. You see what's happening in Alberta. You see how the people of Alberta, who are usually very smart, foolishly went and voted for Rachel Notley, and you see how they're suffering right now. The credit ratings of the world are giving Alberta an F. Alberta used to have so many jobs that they didn't have enough people to fill them. Now, Alberta jobs are just hemorrhaging away from Alberta. People are leaving Alberta. Money is leaving Alberta. Wealth is leaving Alberta. The suicide rate in the West is sky high. And unemployment is sky high. This is what you go get in Ontario. And it's going to be even worse. It's going to be even worse. Don't give me this, Andrea Horwath has changed. The NDP and the Liberal are two in the same thing. The NDP is the Liberals' puppet. The NDP votes with the Liberals 90% of the time. It's only when election day comes that they pretend like they are puss and dog. But they are Tweedledee and Tweedledum. They love each other. It's the same thing. There's only two parties, as far as I'm concerned. The Liberal NDP and the Progressive Conservatives. And by the way, this whole thing with Progressive Conservative, I wish one day we get a leader to get rid of that stupid Progressive Conservative. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. There is no such thing as a Progressive Conservative. You're either progressive or you're a conservative. A progressive is pretty much a control freak who thinks that his view of progressivism is the world's view, and that's anything but conservative. And a conservative is a conservative. There's two different things. If you want to change it to populist conservative, people's conservative, or simply conservative, let's do that. But drop this whole progressive conservative. It's ridiculous. It's a joke. The federal did it. It's time for the provincial government, the provincial PCs to drop this progressive. But I am calling on all people in the PC party. And I know you're listening to me. I know you're listening to me. I'm pointing to my phone because it's on Facebook Messenger, Facebook Live. You all better hold a leadership race before the election, because you're going to anger thousands. You're going to anger 100% of your members. You're going to anger 100% of them. Make sure that your members have the opportunity to vote in a new leader. Anything less than that means you have not learned anything from this whole debacle, which means you are more arrogant and elitist and detached than ever. And you can take it from me, and many people listen to what I have to say. Don't you think that I'm just some rogue voice out there, some crazy black man talking because he had nothing better to do. Oh, please, many people listen to what I have to say. This is the Arana Nation.